But I do remember the first joke that came to me about Lynn's passing that made me feel better, and I'll share it with you. The setup is heavy, and if the fact that you're going to die is triggering to you, you might want to leave for a few minutes. All right, so this is a day that a lot of people have had. It's when you have a loved one in the hospital who's fighting for their life. It's a horrible day. Don't wish it on anybody. It's the worst day of your life. You're on the phone with doctors, with friends, with family members, trying to hold on to hope, trying to get information, trying to figure out a way to stay positive, and at some point, it turns and it's not going to work out the way that you want it to work out. And about 5:30, 6:30 in the afternoon, the doctor says to me, he says, look, you can come down here and see her if you want. This is peak COVID. No one's in hospitals. She's probably going to be gone. We're taking her off the machines, but you can come down here and see her. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Do people even do that? And he's like, I don't know what people do. I'm just telling you I can make that happen. Like, I don't know what to do. I gotta call like 12 people to figure out what to do. So I start calling people. And I'm like, dude, the doctor just said that I can go see her and she's going to be dead. And they're like, that's fucked up. And I'm like, that's not helpful. So I went through about 9 of those. And finally I called Michaela Watkins, who's a friend of both of ours, great actress. And I go, Michaela, the doctor says I can come see her, but she's going to be dead. And Michaela just goes, oh, you have to do that. And I'm like, I don't. It sounds terrible. She goes, you would regret not doing that. And I thought, like, you don't really know me, apparently, because it sounds like the worst thing I could ever do in my life. And she said, well, it's never going to happen again, and it might be good to do it because there's going to be closure there, and you don't really know how it will feel, and it's an important thing to do. It's an opportunity. And I'm like, oh, okay, fuck. So I call the doctor back, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'm coming down. And he's like, all right, well, I got to give you a heads up. We can't really clean up because the coroner has to sign off on her. I'm like, you're not really selling this. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if I can handle it, man. He's like, you can handle it. Just come down here and we'll take care of you. And I'm like, oh, all right. So now it's 12:30 at night. I'm driving down to the hospital, and I'm in shock. My girlfriend died. I'm out-of-body experience. I'm shattered. I'm totally traumatized. And I'm driving alone to this hospital in the middle of the night. And I get to the hospital, and there's no one in it, just a security guard. I'm like, I'm here to... He says, yeah, I know. And he takes me up to intensive care. Now, thank God for nurses. They're real heroes, and they're at this shit. Yeah. Every day, nurses are dealing with this stuff. And I'm saying that to preface the fact that the nurses up in the ICU were a little chipper. I don't know why. But maybe it was helpful. I don't know. But I got up there, and I'm like, hi. And they're like, hi. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm here to see Lynn Shelton. They're like, we know. She's just in there. And there's no rooms in an ICU. Not at this one. It was dark, and there were just curtains. And they said, she's in there. You go in there and, take as much time as you want. And I'm like, okay. So I walk in there, and Lynn's there, and she's gone. And I was able to, touch her forehead and, tell her I loved her and cry, for a few minutes. And I stayed with her for a good 5 minutes. And I was like, I felt like, okay, I'm going to go, and I said goodbye. And I'm walking out, and I'm thinking, selfie? No, right?